Yo, what's going on, my fellow gamers? Gid here, signing in. Disney Heroes Battle Mode, patch update 1.6.a. Thanks for checking in. I apologize for the absence of uploading videos for, it's been over a week, maybe getting closer to 2 now, since the new year. I was taking some time to relax with the family and get my studio slash workspace slash office sorted out and kind of revamp that so I can, make some better stuff, produce some better content, and just kind of feel a little more organized. So again, apologies, but I'm back and looking to cover off the Disney Heroes Battle Mode updates and heroes and all that other good stuff. So without further ado, we have new update, new chapter. Chapter 14 we're up to now, so we're going to play through that. And there's O2, level 100. And I'm also going to talk a bit about some tips to surviving cap raises. I think I have about 10 tips I want to go over as I play, just for everyone. Maybe some of them you'll find relevant, some you won't. Obviously, I'm VIP 15, so yeah, I've bought a few deals here and there. And some of these things may apply to free-to-play, some of these things are just a general mindset, and other things might help if you're looking to maximize how you do invest into the game and what kind of deals you buy. So stick around and we'll get going with that. All right, O2, level 100. That can seem pretty daunting. Is it going to keep going up from here? Is Per Blue actually going to slow down on rolling out cap raises like they said they would? Only time will tell. Server 1 didn't get a cap level raise update, so maybe that's a sign of good things, or maybe we're just on a kind of halfway in between update schedule at the moment. We'll see. Anyway, the first thing I want to talk about kind of pertains to the fact you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. I know a lot of players, most players, didn't get all their heroes to O2. They maybe barely even got level 95, and now this happens. Well, don't be discouraged. So, tip number 1 that I have is simply play your game. Right? So in leveling up, cap raises, you're only competing with yourself. Don't worry about how fast other players are powering up or get discouraged by the increases. Simply play how you want, how you can afford to, and go with that. I mean, not everyone can put money into the game. Not everyone wants to put money into the game. There are some good quality of life things that you should consider if you're going to play this long term, such as, the monthly deals, the daily diamonds, investing in that, maybe a couple packages here and there. So just don't worry about it. Most guilds have pretty reasonable thresholds for membership, so you can be active and participate in war and get your very hard surge done and all that good stuff. And most people, there's guilds that just want to chill out and have some other people to talk to. So anyway, tip number 1, just you're competing with yourself. Don't worry about everyone else. Put the blinders on and just level up how you're comfortable with leveling up that fits you and fits the other players that you like to hang with. Tip number 2 is a simple one. Just save your dailies until after the update. And make sure you're doing all your dailies, at least the ones that are giving you that team level experience. Kind of seems like a no-brainer. It gets a little tricky in the sense that not everyone knows when the updates are happening. The forums now kind of post them a little bit in advance, so it's always good to check up with that. Most people know 1 or 2 people or more who are kind of aware of when the next schedule's coming up. It does end up getting posted somewhere. There's always someone in the know. So just save your dailies. You get, I don't know off the top of my head, it's just over 1,000 team experience or something like that. Somewhere in that realm for completing all those dailies through your regular stamina usage and everything else. So at the very least, if you're doing that, you can get like around 1,000 team EXP a day. And it's a nice little boost to start you off if you saved all the dailies until after the reset or the update. Tip number 3. So decide when or if you're going to try power leveling. If you're free to play or you have stockpiled limited resources over the last update phase, you probably want to wait for a double badge bit event, simply because you may not have those backpacks that allow you to double up on your badge drops. And using the badges or getting double bits is very helpful, as grinding out the new badge sets is probably the most tedious and annoying part of your leveling up adventure. So if you are going to, depending on your resources and your schedule, save what stamina you have, what boosts you have, until something like a double badge bit event has dropped. I need to apologize. I know these tips aren't really in any particular order. I really just kind of wrote them down off the top of my head. So if they seem a little out of order, I'm sorry. All right. So tip number 4 goes in line with tip number 3. So if you have a large stockpile of resources, or you do buy deals and you have a good amount saved up, I would save your power leveling until there is an event. Maybe you can, be first out the gate whether there's an event or not, and that's all well and good. However, a lot of the power leveling will usually generate power for your event or scoring or whatever. For example, save it until fortified the network. You'll be using lots of stamina and diamonds, and you'll easily get to, well, most likely, depending on what you have, get to the 1 mil mark or higher. Same as with, like what's the event going on today with the badge bit collection? It's another good example. So if you can save your power leveling until the next big event, and there's pretty much always a big event the weekend after a cap raise drops. Usually fortify the network, other times not. I believe last time it was fortify the network, this time it's that badge bit collection. So it'll make a huge dent in your progression, if not blow it out of the water. It's just good. It's just kind of like, taking out, 2 birds with 1 stone or some such. Anyway, something to think about, using your resources, your power leveling, all that for the next big event. Okay, tip number 5. Should seem straightforward, but maybe it's not. Use your boosts together. So again, kind of the same thing as power leveling, and that's just, using everything at once to try and get as much levels done as possible. So your energy multipliers, so you get more energy back throughout the day, your double drops from normal campaign backpack, your elite campaign backpack, your double EXP, your double gold, all of these stack to maximize your resource gathering. So if you do power level, you are doing something like this, a huge power up, you want to get as much resources as possible, stack those boosts, and make sure you look at them really carefully, because some of them, they don't really give you a very visual notification when you click on them. They just kind of disappear. And if you have multiples, you don't want to accidentally, keep using a refresh or something when it's just resetting the timer and not extending it. Tip number 6, plan your hero growth and badge bit gathering. So once you've run through all the stages once, you've 3-starred them so you can raid them, you want to use the hero badge list from the hero page to see what badges you need. Most of the time, heroes have what I call an anchor badge. In the 95 to 100 level up, you'll see this BNL badge that comes up all the time. I believe in another one, the level 90, it was this the Mickey Mouse Club badge. So there's like one badge you'll see pretty regularly on all the heroes. So see what stages drop something like that. Just kind of calculate how many you can get at once, what orange badges you need to collect the same time as these purple badge bits to combine and make the bigger badges. It's a bit of work, but if you plan it out, you really get an idea of how many times you need to run a stage to gather all the resources. And it might just kind of help you prioritize getting your top 5 heroes, 15, whatever, done in the order that you want. Tip number 7 is just a quick one for badge bits. Save your trial refreshes if you have trial refreshes or any type of port refresh. Save them until a Sunday with a triple drop rate just to really maximize it. Quick and simple, there's no rush unless you're really desperate for a certain bit. If you come into any of those refreshes, wait until the game gives you the awesome triple days on a Sunday. And note that a lot of the times those events will activate before the daily refresh. So if you're on early enough in the morning or whatever, you can get a bonus reset of your trials before the actual reset. So it kind of does it twice in a row. Tip number 8, if you're using diamonds to buy energy refreshes, unless you can really afford to, and even then, I guess if that's what you want to do, not my preference, don't go deeper than 100 diamonds for the stamina refresh. So you'll get 2 at 50 diamonds, and then I think 3 or 4 at 100, and then after that it jumps up to 200. So 100 diamonds for 120 stamina isn't the greatest deal, but it's not bad. But once you start paying more than that, it just gets a little ridiculous to me, and I don't think that's worth it at all. So if you're going to use Diamond Buy for energy refreshes as well, again, save it for your power leveling, save it to maximize your Fortify the Network, or your badge collecting, or whatever you're doing. Tip number 9. If you're going to buy deals, my recommendation, and this is what I predominantly do, is stick to resources. So if you have a choice between hero chips and resources, go for the resources because the resources will take you farther, and you can generally collect hero chips through using resources. So these are energy, backpacks, multipliers, anything like that, stamina. Be sure that you kind of calculate out if it's a good deal or not. My baseline is 100 diamonds for the 120 stamina, and then I go from there based off what the offer is, whether it's a diamond to buy or a cash buy. Usually if you can get some backpacks in there, some refreshes as well, all the better. But keep an eye out for resource bundles as opposed to badges, or hero chips is what I would say. All right, we've made it. Tip number 10. But before we get to tip number 10, let's review my top tips of the year. Just kidding. So, tip number 10 is this: be a hoarder. And what I mean is, don't sell your EXP pots or your badge bits. Unless you are absolutely 100% sure you will never need them again. I know it can be tempting to make some quick gold. Some of those EXP pots, they ramp up pretty quickly. But I would advise against selling any of that stuff, because unless everyone is leveled up and they're max badge sets, and you're never going to need to give them more of that stuff, it is always good to keep a stockpile bits, because your friendship missions require random and sometimes very rare bits, despite how annoying that is. And the EXP pots are generally more useful than the gold you get. Gold is actually one of the easiest resources to get, in my opinion. So just hold off on selling those types of resources unless you're 100% certain you can get away with it and be ready for the next cap raise. Okay, I have a bonus tip. If you're feeling the strain of diamonds, I would suggest trying to do the Fiber and Tapjoy offers. I know players have had mixed success with them. I personally have had very good success with them. I find a lot of it has to do with, how the customer service end of it goes. I've had better experience with Fiber over Tapjoy, but usually after a couple email exchanges, they end up getting me the diamonds that I was supposed to get. So just make sure you are following along with the guidelines properly. You've never done it before. You know, if it's a first time player one, you can do a lot of them free to play. Some of them you can just kind of quickly meet the objective by spending $5. I prefer the ones that are actually games that you play as opposed to buying deals and all that other stuff, but I guess those also have quick returns from what I've heard. Anyway, don't forget about the offers. They can definitely supplement your powering up and give you that extra supply of diamonds. So that's my top 10 tips for surviving a cap raise. If there's something you do differently, something I didn't talk about, or a suggestion, please leave me a comment down below. I'd be happy to compare notes. If you agree, disagree, if there's something that I said that you never considered that you're going to try doing, or if you've got things under control and don't need to worry about that, that's all good too. These are just things, again, that I've done since I've started playing the game, pretty much after the first to 60 rush that I kind of started figuring out and implementing to, you know, just help me get through every cap raise that we go through. You know, it's not getting any easier, it's not getting any cheaper, so everything that we can do to maximize our resources will just kind of put you at ease and, you know, maybe keep you collecting heroes and battling a little longer. And that will do it for this video. Fellow gamers, thank you so much for watching. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. If you're liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm back. I have more videos on the way. I hope you're all doing swell. And as always, keep on gaming.